Okay, grade 8. We are doing chapter 6. Alright. So we are doing chapter 6. Okay. We are doing chapter 6, lesson 3, rotations. Okay. Like any other lesson, you have to remember things we have learned before. Okay. What does rotation mean? Another name for rotation means to turn. So if my pen is facing this way, I have turned it. See? I am turning my pen. This is what turn means. Okay? When we rotate, we need, the question has to give you the angle of rotation and the point of rotation and direction. So for rotation to happen, you need three things: the angle of rotation, the point of rotation, or sometimes it's called the center of rotation, and the direction. Okay? So how many types of angles of rotation should we know? 4. 190 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, 360 degrees. Okay? So if you'll be told rotate this point at 90-degree angle, and then they will tell you which is the point of rotation. There's 2 points of rotation. The rule for the origin is not the same as any other point. Okay? So the types of rotation can be rotate at the origin or rotate at a given point. They can give you a point. They say rotate about 0.37 or -3.4 or -4.2 or -6, -9. They can give you any point and they will tell you to rotate about that. You should know how to do that. All right? Then they will tell you when you're rotating, you should go clockwise. So this is your clock. This is 12. This is 3. This is 6. This is 9. When you rotate clockwise, you go this way. You follow the clock. Clockwise, follow the clock. You go like that. You start here and you go from 12, 3, 6, like this. This is clockwise. When you do counterclockwise, you start at 12 and go this way. This is counterclockwise. You go opposite. You go to 12, then to 9, then to 6, and then to 3. You're going the opposite way of the clock. That's what counterclockwise means. Okay? All right. So now let's see the different angles and where they are. So if this is 0, then the distance from, if this is 0 degrees, then the distance from here to here will be 90 degrees, because this is a right angle. If this is 90, then this is 90. Therefore, the distance from here to here is 180 degrees. Because I added 90 and 90, I go 180. From here to here will be 270. Will be 270 degrees. Because I added 180 to 90, this distance from here to here is 90 degrees. I got 270. 270 plus 90 will give me 360 degrees. So if I go around a complete circle, I'll make 360 degrees. Okay? Now, if I go this way, then this will be 90 degrees clockwise. Okay? 180 doesn't matter whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise. I'll still get at the same place. And this will be, so 90 clockwise, 180 clockwise, 270 clockwise. because I'm going this way, okay? So 90 clockwise, 180, then 270 clockwise. So 360 and 180, it doesn't matter whether you go counterclockwise or you go clockwise, because you still remain at the same place, okay? Now, if I go this way, 270 degrees now changes to become 90 degrees counterclockwise. Because I started from here and I went this way. This is 90 degrees. This will still be 180. That is why I told you, it doesn't matter whether I go clockwise or counterclockwise, I will still come to 180. Okay? All right. So 90, 180, this will be 270 degrees counterclockwise. So when I tell you rotate 270 counterclockwise, I am telling you do 90 degrees clockwise. That's what I am saying. If the question says 90 degrees clockwise, it will be the same as 270 counterclockwise. If the question says 270 clockwise, it is the same as 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay? Now, let us see the rule. So, 90 clockwise will be the same answer as 270 counterclockwise rule. So, rule number 1, you will switch X and Y. Switch X and Y. This is your X, this is your Y. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. Switch them. So now you have 3, -4. -2, -2. 4, 3. -9, 7. That's rule number 1. Step 1, switch X and Y. Step 2, multiply X with -1. Multiply X with -1. This was your X, okay? So here, you will do multiply -1. Multiply -1. Multiply -1. Multiply -1. Okay? I should have done it here, because that's the... Let me do it. 3, -4. Ignore, don't write this here. Okay? You multiply your old X, not your new X, your old X. This X. This X here. Your old X. Because you brought it here, you gotta multiply with -1. So, multiply with -1. Here we have -2, -2. Multiply this with -1. Here you have 4, 3. -9, 7. So here you multiply with -1. Multiply with -1. Again, switch X and Y, multiply X with -1. Okay? Or you can multiply X and then switch. It doesn't matter. You can multiply X and then switch, or switch and then multiply. So now your A prime will be 3, 4. Here your A prime will be what? -2, +2. Here your A prime will here your B prime will be -2, 2, 4, -3, -9, -7. And this is your answer. Okay? Tomorrow we will practice to plot on the graph so that you know how to see the angle. Today I just want you to know the rule. So, again, You can multiply the x first and then switch, or switch and then multiply. Remember, 90 clockwise, x is the one changing to the opposite by multiplying this x with -1 and then switching. Okay? So here, 90 clockwise, you have to switch. And we are rotating about the origin. So you need to know, this is the rule for 90 degrees clockwise or 270 counterclockwise about the origin. You switch x and multiply x with -1. Okay, let us do here. So multiply y with -1 and then switch. So multiply y times -1. And then here you will switch. Okay? So let us do. We have -10, 3. This is my y. Let's label xy. 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 Okay? Alright, this becomes, multiply this with -1. And then you get what? -10, -3. So here you have -12, -13. Multiply this with -1. You will get -12, 13. Should get here. -10, -3. -12, 13. Then here, 7, 14. Multiply this with -1. You will get 7, -14. Here you have 5, -5. Multiply this with -1. You will get 5, 5. And then now you need to switch. Your answer is -3, -10, 12, no, 13, -12, -14, 7, and 5, 5. Okay? So remember, multiply y with -1, and then you switch. For 90 counterclockwise, which is the same as 270 clockwise. Okay? All right. 180, I told you it doesn't matter. So just multiply x and y with -1. X with multiply with -1. Y multiply with -1. You don't need to switch. So 22 times -1. 29 times -1. You get -22, -29. All right, -7 times -1, -8 times -1. You get 7 and 8. 9 times -1, -6 times -1. You get -9, 6. -15 times -1, 3 times -1, 15 times -3, 31 times -1, -42 times -1, -31, +42. And that is your answer. I told you, 180, it doesn't matter. The rule is multiply both with -1. Don't switch. Do not switch for 180. You only switch for 90 and 270. That's the only time you switch. All right, let's do 360. 360, it doesn't matter. X and Y, you multiply by +1, or you just leave it the same. It doesn't matter. So your answer is still X and Y. Nothing changes. So multiply by 1, 0, 0. A prime, B prime, multiply by 1, 3, 0. C prime, multiply by 1, 0, -3. Multiply by 1, 3, 0, -3, 0. This is D prime. And E prime, 0, 3. Multiply by 1, multiply by 1. Okay? So that is how you do rotation about the origin. For 360, clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't matter. 180, it doesn't matter. Okay? So I have just shown you how to rotate about the origin. I am going to do another video for rotating about the point. Okay?